TLDR, for those who don't want to watch this whole update, I've been working on my next video for around 10 years now, and it's super important to me. It's hopefully coming out in the next week, and I'd really appreciate it if you could either watch it, share the living heck out of it, please, or both. Thanks for the support, and on to the whole update video. Hey, long time no talk. I'm sure a lot of you've been wondering where I've been. I released a small joke video like a week ago, where I didn't really say much of value, other than pointing out the obvious fact that Pokemon AI can be incredibly dumb at times. Around a month before that, I'd posted on my community tab that I was hard at work on another video, and I was deciding to focus on that rather than continuing to try and juggle releasing other content at the same time. And it has now been nearly 2.5 months since my video on Beautiful Katamari, which is the longest I've ever gone without releasing some sort of video of substance. The reason for this is because I've been focusing as much time as I can on this other video I mentioned in the community tab. It's a video that I've been making in one form or another, no joke, since around March of 2012, just under a decade ago. At first, it started out as me just writing my thoughts down to vent about and explore a specific topic. Then, when something really started to come together, I thought I might be able to get it published as an op-ed article on a place like IGN. Though at the time, think pieces reflecting on games that were a few years old weren't really in fashion at outlets like that yet. So instead, I held on to it and continued writing until around April of 2014, when a close friend and I decided to start a YouTube channel together. This, YouTube, could be my outlet for what I was creating. As many of my old school fans might already know, this channel was supposed to be myself and another person, but things came up and he had to back out, leaving me alone with the channel trying to find a new angle for it. Knowing nobody in the YouTube gaming space who could boost my channel and having as few as 21 subscribers after my first year of work, I knew it would have been a waste to release the project so early. Gross, low bitrate footage at 720p wasn't going to cut it, nor was my audio quality, or frankly even my level of writing at the time. So again, I waited. Around mid-2018, when I'd been doing YouTube for nearly 4 years, I had a new laptop that allowed me to capture and render video at 1080p, and had a whopping 177 subscribers. I finally decided to make the video, and it was going to be bigger than ever. I had actually accrued some friends on YouTube, and a bunch of them were willing to work with me on the video. Instead of just my perspective, I wanted to try and get a bunch of them from different angles. Someone who hated the game, someone who loved the game, someone who was a game developer, someone who had never played through any game in the series, or even the genre really, and myself. Things were coming together for a while, but pretty quickly other factors started getting in the way for various people who were part of the project. It became difficult to progress, not least of all because I now had over 6 years of a half-written article, and like 90 pages of notes that I needed to sort through, and then turn into a script. So as the project slowly fell apart again, I continued to poke away at the script, adamant that I try to get it to the point where it was finished before I set my focus on anything else related to the project again. By the time a first draft of the script was done, it was around August of 2020. Trying to do a project of this magnitude and importance while also making other videos regularly was proving incredibly difficult. Everyone but one person had left because other things just kept getting in the way, but I'd also found one other person who was willing to take part, which was going to prove a great asset. Continuing with YouTube as a whole, though, was growing difficult. Nearly 6 years of constant work, spending at least half of my total free time on it, was tough, considering I still wasn't even at 500 subscribers, and just couldn't seem to get any traction. I was going to finish this video before I quit. The question was whether or not it would mean anything, whether or not it would be a Hail Mary pass that nobody ever saw, or actually have value in some way. Then, February of 2021 hit, and one of my videos started gaining huge traction. The video on playing through Kingdom Hearts 2 without Keyblade combos, and I already had a follow-up in the works for Birth by Sleep, which also got a lot of attention. Within a month, my total channel views had doubled, my subscribers had nearly doubled to over 1,000, and my watch hours had nearly tripled. This was my chance. So all year last year, while continuing to create other projects to release whenever I could, I was hard at work trying to get this project out there as well. I reread and reworked the script like 5 or 6 more times, made a list of all the B-roll footage I needed from dozens of other games, recorded nearly 10 hours of voiceover that was then cut down to about 4.5 hours of the best takes for each line, started working on the thumbnail drawing, which I was doing myself, gave the go-ahead to the other 2 remaining participants to create their final segments for the video, and set out installing and playing tons of games, often for hours and rarely for more than 30 seconds of footage I needed. Seriously, though not all of the footage in this project is mine, because there are some bits that I just couldn't justify spending the time to grab, or I didn't have the game in question, people underestimate how much work it is to grab B-roll clips. I don't have a massive external drive to keep my games installed on. I don't have backup storage drives for all of my footage. I have around 350 gigs of free storage on my laptop, and a 4TB external drive that is also housing backup data and other video assets, as well as backups of all my final video renders. So when I need footage of most things, I have to delete other things and install these other games, play however much it takes to get the footage I need, and then probably delete other footage in order to capture this new bit of B-roll. If what I need is 15 hours into the game, I'm playing 15 hours of the game. Which, yes, is playing a game, but it's not like it's still not work. It's a roadblock to getting the video finished. In total, capturing footage for this video probably took 200 hours alone, 60 hours of playing the game to completion the first time, and then 140 hours of installing, deleting, blazing through games, capturing. Scripting, probably another 400 hours over the years, but 200 or so once I started actually turning it into a script from the disparate parts it was before. Research, maybe another 75 hours. 10 hours of voiceover collection, as I'd mentioned before. Editing was probably another 150 hours, and still technically is going since I'm putting the finishing touches on it. Thumbnail, by the time it's done, probably another 15 hours. Rendering, finding issues, re-rendering, uploading, finding copyright claims, fixing them, re-rendering, uploading, realizing the claims weren't fixed, fixing them again, re-rendering, uploading again. That tedious as heck process has already added like another 50 hours, and I still haven't done the final renders for one section of the video as a whole, or uploaded the final project. By the end of that, it'll probably have been around 75, 85 hours. We'll just go with 75. So approximately 925 hours have gone into this video by me alone. Add in the work done by just the other 2 people who are current participants, one of which I know has beat the game twice through just for this video, and we're well over 1,000 hours of work. 1,000 hours and 10 years. Will it have been worth it? I have no idea. It's not a perfect project. It's as close to that as I could get, but being only one person, I can only push my parts of the video so far with the skills and resources I have. That being said, I'm still very proud of what the video has turned into. Yes, a part of me still mourns the idea of having the whole video consist of 5 different perspectives. Yes, part of me wishes I had an editor and other resources to get 4K 60 frames a second footage and have perfectly smooth, intricate editing across the entire video. But what I've done is enough. All that's left are a few finishing touches and then releasing it, which hopefully should happen within the next week. It's a big video, should be around 5 hours long, despite trying to avoid the common pitfalls of such long videos, endless nitpicking, rambling, going over every single little detail of the story, etc. This isn't supposed to be a comprehensive look at every single pixel of the game. It's supposed to tackle the important subjects of the specific topic comprehensively, and that's it. But there's still a lot to talk about. I'm also aware that a 5-hour-long critique isn't to everyone's taste. I would really appreciate it if everyone watching this video checked that one out as well when it releases, but I totally understand if you don't care or don't have the time, whatever it may be. If you could though, I'd be endlessly grateful if you could share it. Share it on Reddit, on Twitter, on Discord, on forums. Don't spam anyone, but maybe try to get other large YouTubers you think might enjoy it to signal boost it. This has been just under 10 years of work, by a bit less than a month. It'll never technically be a waste of my time, but it sure would be disappointing if I invested all of that only to reach a few hundred people at best. The point of the video, as with most of my content, is to try and make a positive difference in games critique. I want to add something, educate people, give people something to think about, and try to combat needless anger and hatred with thoughtful exploration of a title instead. I can't really do any of that to an effective degree if my content doesn't reach more than a few handfuls of people. I genuinely appreciate every view, every like, dislike, comment that isn't spam. Every single one feels like an opportunity to grow and an indication that I'm making a positive difference, getting people to think about at least something they may not have addressed before. I just don't want to see this specific video go to waste, you know? So now you know where I've been, how much work I've put into my next project, the struggle it's been to get it to completion, and how much it matters to me. Genuinely, thank you to everyone who watches it, engages with it, and shares it. It means more than you know.